Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host Alex here to talk Texans at the Colts. Um, Playoff implications on the line in this one. Winner gets in. Winner actually has a chance to win the division, depending on what happens with the Jags game tomorrow. So it's a lot at stake in this one. So both teams are definitely going to come in with 100% motivation and their full rosters. As you guys know, this is the last week of NFL regular season, so some games are going to be tough to evaluate when you take that into consideration, which is why I've only reviewed maybe about half the games for this weekend because the other half have no bearing on the playoffs and are of no importance to me. But we'll talk about those other games tomorrow morning, as usual, for the Sunday games. But anyways, now getting into Texans-Colts. It's a quick breakdown of the Texans. So they've had a stout run defense all year. It's practically nobody's been able to run the ball against the Texans this season. They do have a weak pass defense. You can cook them up. In fact, Amari Cooper just went insane on them last week. Now, when you're looking at this run defense for the Texans, you got to take something into consideration. For starters, they have one defensive end, Jonathan Grenard. He's out. He's also their best pass rusher. Malik Collins and Sheldon Rankins are two guys inside. They're both questionable for this game. They've missed practice all week. No reports that they're not going to play, and it's 3:39 p.m. I've been waiting all day to see if there's been an update with that. I haven't seen anything say they're going to be out, so I'm going to assume that they're playing. And at the other end, Will Anderson has also been missing practice or been limited. And so he's also questionable for this game. So you have a chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but you have a chance for their top four defensive linemen to all be out for this game. You got to say that's going to impact their run defense. I'm going into this thinking they're only missing Grenard. Okay, and then so on the offensive side of the ball, Noah Brown has already been ruled out. You guys know Tank Dell is out for the year. Robert Woods is questionable. Now, I think Robert Woods, he's a vet in the league. I think he'll probably play. But if he doesn't play, that's three of their top four receivers out. So Texans got some injury issues. At the very least, you can say these guys are banged up, right? Nobody's 100% around this time of the year. But the Texans especially have some health concerns. So in this game, it's going to be about C.J. Stroud to Nico Collins. Can they carry, or they'll have to carry this offense? Can the Texans run the ball to kind of provide that balance against the Colts? The Colts have a terrible run defense. Everybody's been able to run the ball. Just about everybody's been able to run the ball against the Colts this year. They do have an underrated passing attack, so that's why I think the Texans are going to need that balance from that running game from Devin Singletary, because maybe C.J. Stroud to Nico isn't really going to go off like they did in week 2 when they went for 140. Nico went for 146 and really put himself on the map. For this season, put him as he broke out this season. This was his breakout year. So they're going to need to get some balance in this game. I don't know if they're going to be able to win without that balance. If you're also looking at the Colts are pretty healthy. They finally got Zach Moss back. They're going to have Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor tandem together for the first time since the week of Thanksgiving. So that's big news for the Colts. That running game could provide that balance to the Gardner Minshew and the passing attack. Now, here's the thing with the Colts, though. Their running game has been up and down this whole season. They had a little stretch there, I know, when Zach Moss was going off. But, man, these guys have been kind of up and down, hard to figure out for the past month or so. And then Gardner Minshew is not exactly as somebody who can just – you can pencil him in to just light it up against Houston. I like Michael Pittman. I like Josh Downs. And they're going against a bad secondary, so they can have their moments. But I don't think Gardner Minshew, you're not going to say, man, Gardner Minshew carry these guys to the win. I just don't see that happening. With the playoffs on the line and so forth, I just don't think Gardner Minshew is the kind of guy that can carry this team over the hump into the playoffs, despite the fact they're being at home. So he's going to need that balance from Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss. So these guys are going against a brick wall run defense. They're going to depend on these running backs, and I think this inconsistent running game is going to be this inconsistent running game for the Colts is what's going to tell the tale in this game. Does their running game get off against Houston? If so, the Colts will win. If Houston can stuff up that running game, if it goes nowhere, I think it more leans towards the Texans in this one. So on to my pick. So this is a low stakes play. You guys know if you're new to the channel, I do high stakes plays, low stakes plays. So basically, high stake towards 5%, low stake towards 1%. That's my ATS record since week 12 in the top right. This spread hasn't changed all week. You know, this has been one throughout the week. This is a tough game to pick. This is a game that I typically wouldn't even have on video, but the fact that there's playoff implications on the line, I wanted to do it because I wanted to do all playoff games. So look out for that. I'll be doing all playoff games. So this is essentially a playoff game. So who's gonna win? I think that this brick wall run defense keeps it going. Despite the fact that they're banged up, I think they can keep it going. Jonathan Grenard is out, but they're going to fill in with Derek Barnett, a former first-round pick who's only 27 years old. Was a decent pass rusher for the Eagles when he was there. I think he could fill in for Jonathan Grenard. So I think they're not going to miss. I think they're going to miss something, but they're not going to miss much there. I don't believe in Gardner Minshew with the playoffs on the line to be able to win this game. And I want to go with the rookie head coach and the rookie QB, CJ Stroud, DeMeco Ryans, to be able to get this win on the road. All you got to do is win. 1 point spread, right? So if we push, we push. I don't think it's going to be a push one way or the other. But I'm going with the Texans in a tight game, win this game on the road, and CJ Stroud gets to the playoffs. But anyways, that's it for that game. I'll have my usual Sunday picks tomorrow morning, and then look out for my college national championship prediction, which I will likely also do tomorrow at some point. If you like the content, please like, follow, subscribe, and you're going to see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Take care.